UEFA Champions League finals with the opening performance from award-winning DJ and producer Marshmello, brought to you by Pepsi, the official sponsors of the UEFA Champions League. Pepsi, for the love of it.
I'll have a veggie salad, a prawn cocktail, mushroom soup, a croissant, and a glass of wine, please. Oh, and a session of chilled out jazz.
And now, you've been served. Grover Washington Jr., Miles Davis, Yellow Jackets, George Howard, Gerald Albright, Marcus Miller, Kenny G, George, Benson, Bad, Benson.
Sunday brunch, 12 noon to 4 p.m. every Sunday on Smooth 98.1.
Sunday brunch, all that jazz on one menu. Love music, love life.
Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. The time is now 8:12 a.m. and it is breakfast in bed 981, and you're very, very welcome. It's a pleasure to always have you tune in, and especially the topic of conversation we're having today, this morning, actually is a very interesting one. In the meantime, before now, I played you some really lovely tunes. I played you something from John Legend called Used to Love You. I played you one of my favorite from Alex Boye titled Lemonade. And of course, I threw in something from Shaggy called Strength of a Woman. You are welcome. It is smooth and we like to keep it smooth. Now, I have my guest with me this morning. His name is Folajaiye Kareem. He is the founder of Elite Life Management Consulting. He's a psychologist, a therapist, he's a psychotherapist, anything that you can think about when it concerns mental health, because the topic of conversation this morning is the Lagos life and your mental health. Hi. Oh, by the way, he's joining me all the way from Abuja because he ran away from Lagos. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Absolutely a pleasure to have you join me this early morning. Thank you so much. Now, let me start first. No, before I go to the part where I'm asking you why you ran away from Lagos. First, the topic of mental health is one that is gradually receiving awareness and people are talking more about it. Now, we're talking about it this morning in the context of Lagos and, you know, the life in Lagos, the stress, and even the opportunities it presents, but then how to balance it. So just briefly tell me why the topic of mental health is quite important that, you know, we should have so many conversations around it.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. First, I'd like to say that mental health is getting the recognition that it deserves now. And I'm really happy about that. That's because our lives are not, will I say, holistic when we don't address our mental health issues. That's why in our class, we say there is no health without mental health. Mental health encompasses everything that we do to have a meaningful life with ourselves and when we live with other people. When people hear the word mental health, so they always, you know, think about when a person crosses to the other side, right? However, mental health is anything that makes us, that in fact, the WHO defines mental health as, you know, a state of well-being where individuals can cope with the normal stresses of life, can, you know, have meaningful relationships, can be productive and functional in the society, and can make meaningful contribution to their community. When you look at that definition, it just tells you that it's about everything that we do in relation to ourselves and our environment. So mental health is so important. It's an important aspect of our lives. In fact, I say it is the root of our health in total.
Yeah, true. Actually, the World Health Organization, WHO, actually define health as the state of complete physical, social, and mental well-being, right? Not just merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So the social has to be there, the physical has to be there. And for me, I included the spiritual too. Yes, it has to be there because you cannot be fragmented as an individual. So you while we were talking off air, you mentioned that you were born in Lagos. All your life you've been in Lagos and you decided to run away from Lagos 3 years back. Tell me about that.
All right. So yes, I was born and brought up in Lagos. I grew up in Festac and then later at Iba, that's around Ojo, Lasu Road. And I spent a considerable amount of years in the Ojo cantonment, schooling in Commanding Secondary School. I remember very vividly when my mom used to go to work. My mom would wake up around 3:30, and she has to leave the house by 5 o'clock. If she leaves the house 10 minutes after 5 o'clock, she'll get to the office around 10 o'clock. That was how bad the traffic was from where we used to stay in Ojo local government area, to where she was. She was I think in one of the government schools there in I forgot the local government area now, but I know it's around that Apapa axis. Now, what am I trying to say? The stress of Lagos threw me out of Lagos. Seeing all that, seeing my mom going through all that, because what happened was she now became an early riser, and then she got to work. She would be the first person to get to work because she had to leave that early. And then she begins to see all those who were staying very close, stroll in later in the day. And then she had to leave work early as well. Otherwise, if she left late, she'll get back home late. And that's the ordeal of a lot of people in Lagos. Now, I noticed that lifestyle took a toll on her. She had started complaining of pains every day. Other people around us as well. We didn't have a harmonious relationship like we used to when she wasn't, working that far from home. And when you consider all that as a growing child, you begin to see and try and picture how your life would look like. Mm-hmm. So when I went to uni, I just knew that Lagos wasn't the place that I wanted to say I would raise my kids, or I will work, so that I don't have to experience what I saw growing up. Now, it might not be the same ordeal for everyone, but a lot of people still complain about the same things that we see in Lagos. Traffic, congestion, roads are bad, people always look like they are angry. The air exactly is polluted, noise pollution everywhere. In our streets in Lagos, there were 5 churches, all of them competing for sound. And there was a mosque as well. So when you consider all these things, it just doesn't look like you want that kind of quality of life. And I'm glad to say that now that I've moved in Abuja, it is miles ahead better. And, I feel like this is a place that, I can build better from.
Wow. You just shaded the whole of Lagos. No, you did not shade the whole of Lagos. You said it with your full chest. But it's fine. Now, Lagos, I need you to come through in this conversation. Come and say what your contribution, your question. Of course, you remember that we're talking about it from the angle of mental health and the toll it takes on you generally. So the number to call in is 01-448-9981. Call on the number 01-448-9981, and then send your WhatsApp message to 0809-444-0981. Again, 0809-444-0981. That's for your WhatsApp message. And on Twitter, the hashtag to use is breakfastinbed981, and the handle to tag is @smooth981fm. Meanwhile, we're currently live on YouTube in case you want to see all that is going in the studio. And then it also offers you the chance of having a repeat. If you want to play the conversation again, you can come through on YouTube, or rather you can go to our YouTube channel. So just search for Smooth981 and you'll find us right there. Hello, good morning. Hi, Gary. Oh, sorry, my bad. Mr. Onyema, where are you calling from? I can't hear you. All right then. So what do you have to say this morning?
All that the young man said is nothing but unlike the kind of society we always be on the road. The situation becomes bearable. The last December I passed to compare the atmosphere of my village.
Indeed.
Breathing experience I have when I went to my not the same. The funny thing is that this is where boundless opportunities abound.
Mm.
So the environment, the noise, but everything in Lagos is, it just everything has questionable marks. Or whatever be the case, the beauty of Lagos still remains that there is opportunity in Lagos.
Mm.
Please start life here. So whatever that has advantage, have disadvantage. So you compare the two. It's only when maybe you become a big boy, you can change location. Or we that are starting. This is where we build our company. This is where we start. So Lagos is good for starters.
Mm.
So that's just my little contribution.
For how long have you been in Lagos, Mr. Onyema?
2005. After his service, I think I settled here. And from there, I think from 2000, I think it should be about maybe 15 years.
Wow.
I want to thank God also. The only thing is I will keep coping and believing the Lord. By the time we achieve our dream, can relocate. Abuja is also good. Enugu, and they are wonderful.
All right then.
And, I love Lagos.
All right then. Thank you so much. Let's quickly make the way for other Lagos lovers. Thank you so much for calling, Mr. Onyema. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Hi. What's your name and where are you calling from? Ali from Apapa. So first, let me ask you, do you have any weird or crazy or mind-blowing Lagos experience?
Well, I've not really had very great, apart from being in a public bus.
Okay, so tell me, what do you have to say this morning?
I think Lagos is, of course, we should understand that Lagos is a commercial, industrial state. So as much as polluted or as stressful as I think it is, like the previous caller said, there are opportunities. Like the opportunities in Lagos are beyond other states. So as much as polluted as it is, we can also find places where there are serenity, tranquility, where we can get all of that. There are places like
can you turn off your radio set? I can hear the feedback.
It's like the parks and what have you, your Lekki conservation, the beaches, the Badagry of this world. So I'm sure we can find all of that.
But don't you think that there will be other opportunities like that outside of Lagos if only people pay more attention to their states the way the attention is on Lagos?
Well, there are other opportunities. In fact, if you go to Abuja, there are there are many options. There are many options that you can explore. But when I go to those other states, I feel there's this feeling I have I'm like, oh my God, I'm out of Lagos. I'm excited. But 1 week after, I'm missing Lagos already. Like a madness of Lagos. Lagos is bipolar. Like someone said on one of those smooth ads. Like Lagos is bipolar. 1 minute you're happy with Lagos. The next minute something else is kicking you off. So it's like that. So I mean,
yeah, true.
But Lagos is useful. But if I go to Canada, I don't know. Maybe I'll just
look at them, the Canada people. We see you. All right, thank you so much for calling, Ali. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Enjoy your morning. Ah, nice. So you already let the cat out of the bag. Haba. All right, then. Thank you so much. Yeah, bye. Hello, good morning. Hello, can you hear me? But I can't hear you clearly. All right, it's better now. What's your name? Hello? Hello? Sorry. I think the network is a bit unstable. Yeah, so in case you get to a good place where you have good network reception, please call back. The phone lines have been buzzing for that, and I'm sure that a lot of people have a lot of things to say, but then let's carry on with this conversation. Meanwhile, one of the callers talked about his experience and all that, and he reminded me of a time that I went to Warri. I went there for my NYC, and the truth is, after the first, not even the first week, I think it was the first day, or yeah, the first day that I went to resume to my PPA. That's my primary place of assignment, or place of primary assignment. I'm not sure what that is now, but PPA basically, where I was working. And so one thing that I noticed was there were no bus stops. Can you hear me, Fola?
Yes, I can hear you.
There were no bus stops. I mean, if you want to stop anywhere, just tell them, what's the word again? I've forgotten. Hey, driver, stop me here. That you just literally say that, and the driver has to stop, even if he is on 120, which definitely not, but whatever speed the driver may be on, at that speed, the guy has to just step on the brakes. And it didn't make sense to me. I thought that we had so much chaos in Lagos where everybody was, to an extent, maybe can be lawless, but that was even the height of it for me. And another thing is that which was the other part. So there was really no traffic. So I had to get to work around around 7:30. I was already up by 6 o'clock. And then my host was like, "Why are you up so early?" I said, "Because," and when I say up, I don't mean awake, I mean set by 6 o'clock. I was already done. And she was like, why so early? I said, "Traffic." She laughed at me and said, "No, this is not Lagos." So that's one of the many things that, it's like a shock that you just have to rewire your head or your mental state when you go out of the state. Did you have any of that?
Oh, sure. I recount two incidents that happened. So initially, till now, just because it's already a lifestyle, I don't get to sleep past 5 a.m. Once it's 5 a.m., I'm awake because I know that the day has started. But for the average Abuja people, they are still lounging by 7 o'clock, stretching, and you just wonder, no, what's going on? And then I remember there was a certain period when I just came in, and I was trying to fight for public transport somewhere around the city center, and then I discovered when one of the vehicles came, and then it was a bit far from us, I started running. That survival instinct.
Right.
I started running towards the vehicle, and then I looked back, and I discovered nobody was running with me. They were just strolling. And I'm asking myself, it just dawned on me like, oh no, this is Lagos PTSD that is
right.
that is doing me. So yes, I've had that experience, and it just goes to tell you that a lot of things, are concerning when it comes to that aspect of our lifestyle in Lagos. I mean, it's not just Lagos alone, but any urbanized area that has little or no check and balance, especially when it has to do with planning, planning for social welfare. People get to seem like they are choked. People believe, especially for their mental health, they feel like they do not have a lot of activities that can help them cope effectively. For mental health, we believe that when you see green, if you see nature, it helps soothe your mental health. It helps you cope better with things that can give you anxiety, and things that can lead to a social isolation. I will also remember times when I visit Lagos. It's really difficult for me to see all my family members within Lagos because of how congested the city is. So some days I have a very tight schedule, and maybe I'm in Lagos for like 2-3 days. I try to see as many people as I can before I fly back to Abuja. But It's difficult because by the time you plan to visit one person at the end of the city, trust me, you cannot go elsewhere. You know, I have relatives in Lagos that haven't seen themselves in months, if not years, just because of the distance and the stress it will take to go see their relatives. So these are issues that are concerning, and we just have to begin to look for ways to prioritize our mental health, because research has shown that if we do things to prioritize our mental health, it improves our productivity, not just at work, but at home, our functionality at home, you know, our relationships with people. Imagine, because of the way things are, you cannot visit your loved ones. You have to be looking at time, you have to be looking at how convenient it would be before you go and visit your loved one, before you go to places where you can relax and everything. So these are things that if we begin to plan for, you know, it can reduce the burden on the mental health of people in Lagos.
Now, do you know the funny thing, the irony? First, I'm of the school of thought that you always make room for anything that matters much to you or matters really, really to you. And I'm saying that because you see people, despite the fact that they have tight schedules and they do not have time in quote for themselves, they still have time for Owambe. On Saturdays, the event centers are filled to the brim. Clubs, you have restaurants, you have beaches and all that. They still make time for that, especially the Owambe. So if you really want to prioritize your mental health, definitely there are things that you can do to navigate that part of it. So yes, when we come back, we'll be taking more of your calls. I am sorry, I've been seeing the lines buzzing, and yes, when I come back from this break, I'll take your calls and then we'll talk more about the Lagos life and your mental health. This is still Smooth 98.1 and it is Breakfast in Bed.
Smooth music. Smooth music defined by you.
What does future forward banking mean to you? Speed, innovation, convenience, lifestyle goals, or just simply getting service that is designed just for you? Yeah, we thought you might like all of that and more. That is why we specially created Providus Bank for you to take care of your daily experiences. At Providus Bank, we believe that banking should be all about you and your business and how to get you to the next level. If you do not already have a Providus Bank account, please speak with our business concierge on 0700 77 684-387 or email businessconcierge@providusbank.com to switch to a future forward banking experience. Providus Bank, future forward banking.
My colleagues look at me as that unfortunate guy who committed political suicide.
Smooth 98.1 in conjunction with Content Factory Limited presents Lagosa, a radio drama series.
About a month ago, I was forced to resign my seat.
Lagosa is the story of Michael Babatunde, the first mayor of Eko Atlantic, his life, times, and his accomplishments.
This is me, my victories, my failures as a man, as a husband. It's all me.
A political drama filled with intrigues, family conflicts, and the pursuit of destiny. Created by Tari Taylor.
All this is part and parcel of a life of service.
Playing the dumb wife who turns a blind eye to your infidelity. Starring Femi Jacobs as Michael Babatunde, Olo Jacobs as Olorogu, Joke Silva as Mama Safi, and Kemi Lala Akidoju as Jamila. Coming to you from the 1st of June, Mondays to Thursdays at 8:45 p.m. on Smooth 98.1.
Politics of family never end.
Lagosa is sponsored by Eko Development Company.
Smooth.
This is your one-stop station for intelligent talk and great contemporary music. Smooth Night.
That's right. No one, absolutely no one does it better, because this is the smoothest dial on Lagos radio. Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. This is Breakfast in Bed, just in case you're tuning in for the first time, or you are joining us for the first time, or you took a break and then you're back. It is still Breakfast in Bed. My name is Oluwaseun. My guest is Folajaiye Kareem. He is the founder of Elite Life Management Consulting. And the topic of conversation is the Lagos life and your mental health. Now, I have been seeing the calls coming in. So again, please call back. The number is 01-448-9981. 014489981. However, your WhatsApp messages, WhatsApp in cap, goes to 0809444091. On Twitter, the hashtag to use is breakfast in bed 981, and the handle to tag is at smooth981fm. Now, just in case you're wondering why we're talking so much about mental health and what Lagos does to you and all that, the truth is, according to data, it says that the seventh largest country in the world, which is Nigeria, in terms of the depression, let me rearrange that. Nigeria has the seventh largest caseload of depression in the world. And then in Africa, it has the highest. And then when it concerns suicide, it ranks 15th in the world. So, I mean, it's something to be talked about. And then, of course, you can already guess that Lagos has a very huge percentage of that number. Now, another funny thing, which is not so funny, is that, now I would need you to confirm that, Folajaiye. According to something that I saw, it says we have about 150 psychiatrists in the country for a population of about 200 million. How can we have about 150 psychiatrists? I don't know the current number, but what's the number you have?
Oh, well, yes, it's a bit above that, but still not in any way enough, we don't know the exact data, but people say we have between 250 to 300 currently. More are graduating, but because of the brain drain that is happening in the country as well, as a lot of them are doing well, they are also, making attempts to leave the country. So a lot of that, still yet, we know that it's not enough. It's not near enough, because the recommendation from WHO says a nation should have, I think, one psychiatrist to 10,000, 100,000 people. I'm not really sure. But the ratio is just too low, even for the psychologists as well. It's just within that range of number of people. So access to mental health care, is really, really slim, coupled with the fact that a lot of people, charlatans, are trying to do the work of a mental health practitioner. So people do not really know where to get quality care when they have mental health concerns. And it's really worrisome, especially in Lagos, because one of the things that happens in urban areas like Lagos is what we call overload. Overload in terms of the pollution, the noise, the population, and the likes. This tends to increase our stimulus level, our arousal to things, our sensory arousal to things. As a result, people begin to get triggered easily, and they try to protect themselves or protect their mental health. And if people do not know the right coping mechanisms or the helpful adaptive measures to do that, they begin to use negative methods to cope, like drugs, alcohol, going hysterical, and getting angry or easily irritable at anything. And that's why when you go out on the average day in Lagos, you think that everybody is, running a cycle. You just go out and for no reason, somebody is yelling something at you, and so all those things contribute to why I think the mental health of people living in Lagos is hanging by a thread. I mean, that's my opinion.
Let me share another of my experience in Lagos. I'm not sure I've shared this one. So it was many years back, not many, but some years back. So I was coming from work. It was late at night. Late now, I say around 8 p.m. So I was commuting. I was in a keke. That's the keke napep. And I was quite tired. I was exhausted. That was the fastest option. I didn't want to body bike because those guys drive like they have 9 lives extra at home. So I was in a tricycle. And I was sitting there tired, exhausted. And this person comes into the keke, tells me to shift. I shifted. The other person came in, usually it's 3 at the back. The other person came in and I was the one at the extreme. So I shifted for the third person so that I can make more space. And he goes, Shift now. I said, see, there is no space. And of course, if you live in Lagos, you commute using the public buses, you know that, yeah, that's a normal thing. Shift where there is literally no space to shift to. So I told him, there is no space. See now. And he goes, it's not your fault. Look at your face. Your cheeks are so big. I'm serious. Your cheeks are so big. See you, look at you. I'm sure that when you get home now, and somebody would have prepared food for you, all you just have to do is remove your clothes and eat. I was weak. I'm serious. I kid you not. I was weak. Like, what has my cheeks, the size of it, my face, the food at home, right? What is that? And like the reason that day I was so shocked, I was stunned, and I literally wanted to say, excuse me, sir, I'm not the cause of your problems. I do not frustrate you. Whoever frustrated you from wherever you're coming from, I am not the one, so please leave me alone. But then, this is Lagos. You can get slapped for, in fact, walking in the right lane. So I just maintained. I was too tired that day. I just kept quiet. And that's a level of frustration. Now, I don't know. Maybe he feels like, oh, yes, you look like a chubby, well-fed person, and I have been slaving and laboring all day and all that. So that's just to show how angry, how intolerant, how unnecessarily volatile the residents of Lagos can be. And you're wondering why. The noise pollution, like you mentioned, it increases or it heightens. If you do not have any religious building around your house, you better be thankful. Let's even leave the religious building. What about the generators that you're constantly hearing? So because I have to record in my room sometimes, I literally have to wait for my neighbors to turn off their generators and all that. So it's just so, it's something. So I have those messages. Earlier today, I already mentioned that we posted something on our WhatsApp status asking for the craziest experience. And I have this one from Bolaji. He said, I gave my phone engineer to correct charging points. I gave my phone to an engineer to correct the charging point and then change touchpad. The guy removed camera lens. Are you listening? The guy removed the camera lens. He removed the speaker. He removed the mouthpieces. And then he told me that I have to change all those. He gave me the tab back without the things I removed. And then he told me to use the headphones to receive calls. Thank goodness that another engineer helped me to be aware of the missing pieces. That's another part, right? Now, let me quickly take this call from Sam from Ikoyi before I take your thoughts. He says, hi, Smooth FM. The term, there are opportunities in Lagos and everybody wants to come over to Lagos is sadly a stark reflection of the failed system of governance. With visionary leaders, cities like Abeokuta, Ibadan, Osogbo, Warri, and the likes will be developed, corporations will be established, road networks would be seriously worked upon, and Lagos would be decongested. Imagine a 21st century road network that can enable you work in Lagos and reside in Ibadan. Imagine the decongestion in Lagos. I've got a family that lives in New Jersey and work in New York daily, obviously by using the train station without stress. Little wonder our life expectancy index as a country is the fourth lowest in the world. Let's not celebrate hardship. People are stressed out. Lagos needs decongestions. Nigeria needs visionary leaders. Cheers. Sam from Ikoyi. Thank you so much. Whew, what do you have to say to everything?
I mean, Sam and I are on the same street when it comes to that, sharing that kind of thoughts. Because, you know, when the first caller, I remember when he said, even though, you know, he still loves Lagos, he comes in, he goes out, and then after like 2 or 3 days, he's already missing his Lagos again. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what aspect of the land you are missing. The truth is, there are things that you enjoy, you know, because you've been there. But trust me, there is nothing to miss about the negative aspect of staying in an urban city that has in a way failed to plan for the mental health of citizenry. And so when you say that, I begin to wonder whether you are not having a trauma bond.
Let me quickly take this call.
Okay.
Hello, good morning. Can you turn down the volume of your radio set? All right, what's your name? Ada from Ikeja. Lovely to have you this morning. So what do you have to say? True.
So coming to Nigeria, I shipped a car and I'm trying to, purchase the car so I can use it here while I'm here. To find out that the painter that I took my car to just, paint it, the guy went and took out the parts on the car. They took out a lot of parts that are expensive parts in a car. They took that out and then covered it up with mud and then painted over it.
Wow.
Seriously. So I brought the car back and the car won't start. And I asked the guy, what happened? The US just supposed to say, no mechanical. Oh, I don't know what he's talking about and all those kind of stuff. So you start to wonder what kind of human beings do we have here in Lagos? And the sad thing about the traffic is when you get to the start point of this traffic, you find out that it's just some ignorant people. Everyone want to go at the same time, and then we all stay there for about 3 hours. No sense. Then you begin to wonder, do people really afford? You can go, the other person go, the next person will go, and everything will be moving smoothly. But no, everybody want to go out at the same time at the junction. So I don't get it. I don't know when people say they're missing. I don't know what they're missing. Like really, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's quite troublesome or worrisome rather. But I hope you have.
It's just like the first caller, the caller before me said, it's just governance. Just governance. People that are on top of on power on the seat of power, they just want to do what? I don't get it. We have government, but it doesn't work.
All right, then. Thank you so much. All right, I hope you have a sane day, stress-free and traffic-free if possible. Oh, all right then. I lost that call. Well, a lot to be said, but then let's take a quick break. Let's just catch our breath, sip on a cup of cold water, warm coffee, whatever it is that you're having this morning in bed. And then we'll be back to take the final leg. And then we'll be giving some recommendations. I'm sorry, I may not be able to take all the calls. I know you want to say a lot of things. I am sorry. We'll take a break. And then when we come back, we'll be giving the mental health recommendation, how you can save yourself, some of the stress and the unnecessary troubles to your mental health. It is still Smooth 98.1.
Is Kareem, and you and yours are listening to Smooth 98.
The phone lines are buzzing back to back. My people just want to pour out everything they have.
How about the WhatsApp messages?
Yeah, there is one question. Someone said, is there a link between mental health and such conditions as diabetes, hypertension, cancer, arthritis?
Ambient noise from the advertising.
Brought to you by Pepsi. The official sponsors of
ambient noise from the advert is high, so I can't hear the question. Is there a link between mental health and what?
Yeah, is there a link between mental health? All right, we're coming in after this one. So I can ask you.
With relevant information and tips from medical experts for optimal well-being.
How to prevent it, detect or treat it.
Tune in every Thursday at 5:15 p.m. on the Smooth Drive.
So Lagos, if you didn't know, now you know.
Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. It's been an intense conversation with all the messages flooding in and the calls coming through back to back, and I am quite appreciative of it. Sadly, we may not be able to take everybody, but then I hope you're getting one thing or the other from it. I'll take this quick message from Folajaiye. He says, hello guys, please, is there any link between mental health and such conditions as diabetes, hypertension, cancer, arthritis, etc.? Fola?
Oh, sure. Sure. Like I said when we started the program, there is a link between mental health and your physical health. And that's why we say there is no health without mental health. However, we cannot establish a causative factor because there are so many things that can cause, these things that you mentioned. So it's a collection of symptoms that become a syndrome of mental health or a diagnosis of mental health. So we can't necessarily say that, because this person has this mental health issue, then that's why the person has diabetes. That's why the person has this chronic heart condition. But yes, there is a correlation between that. So there's a difference between a correlation, and a causative factor. So it might not just be the only thing, but it might be part of the issues that may have either precipitated that physical health condition or maintained it to remain that way. For instance, what we call coronary heart disease, is something that has a very strong link with mental health. And if people do not lead a healthy lifestyle, eat healthy, exercise, sleep well, which are tips that we will give as recommendation to preserve your mental health, it will deteriorate. This condition will deteriorate furthermore. So if we have methods to care for our mental health, it usually also translates to better physical health.
All right, let me quickly take this caller. Hello, good morning. What's your name, please? Hi, where are you calling from? All right, so quickly, what do you have to say?
Lagos is a place where everybody sort of forgive their soul. I remember this experience when I was in Osho State. I was talking to someone on phone. I was just talking casually. After I made the call, one guy just approached me and said, "Are you from Lagos?" I said, "Yes." I just came. He said about that the way you are talking. I was not like, he said I was shouting. But to me, it was just normal. You talk to Lagos, have fun. Guy, you don't do this, you don't do this. That's when I realized that I was actually shouting. And you have to, for this, I think government has to make other cities in Nigeria, like a metropolitan like Lagos, also the conject Lagos. And the politics in Lagos, like this, they have to have other ports too in Nigeria. So it can also discongest Lagos more and more. Thank you.
All right then. Thank you so much. But I have a quick question for you. All right then, I guess. Because, everybody's talking about the congestion Lagos and, the government has to step up to the plate, which definitely true. But then, in Lagos, chances are that if you ask someone, go back to your state of origin, it's not as developed as it is right now in Lagos. But then there are opportunities, say diamonds in the rough. Go back to your state and develop it. People will not leave Lagos. That's the truth. They will not leave. So are we expecting a magic wand? Or are we expecting some sort of magic to just happen so that all the states are fixed and then we can migrate back to them? But anyways, sadly, we do not have so much time left. So let me take your recommendations. Now, we've talked about noise pollution, how it puts you on the edge. We talked about the traffic, how it makes you angry. And there is road rage, a common sight in Lagos. Everybody's shouting and cursing the mother of their father and ancestors for no reason. Everybody's just pouring their frustration. Not to mention the cost of living, everything is really on the increase. So what are your suggestions? How do people pay more attention to their mental health and how do they keep themselves in check? Like he didn't know he was shouting on the phone as a result of shouting here in Lagos, which is almost like a normal thing, but it does not exactly make it good. So
I really like the last caller's contribution, and that's very, very valid. Yes, so if we want to care for your mental health, the first thing I'd like to say is your mental health is your personal responsibility. And as an adult or someone who is growing up, you should take your mental health personally and seriously. One of the things that I would recommend is for us to develop healthy coping mechanisms, like have a decisive responsibility towards your own mental health by getting into a routine when you have a routine, you feel like you're more in control of your life. Getting enough sleep. A lot of people in Lagos, after all the stress of Lagos, they still begin to go on to do extracurricular activities that might not be healthy for them, especially, maybe you work a 9 to 5 that has turned to 6 to 10, right? And then at the end of the day, that 10 o'clock, you are rushing into a church to attend a vigil that is for 90 days prayer and fasting. You would break down because the body also has its limits. So it's important that you know your limits, get enough rest when you need to, as much as you can. Please, when you do your best to become aware about mental health conditions and symptoms, so that when you experience them, you know where to turn to. It is also important that you keep a checklist of professionals that you can reach out to when you notice you or your loved ones have coming down with mental health conditions, which can include things like having a depressed mood, not sleeping well, not eating well, having poor appetite, poor concentration levels, memory issues, and the rest. So if you notice any of this, it's also important for you to seek the help of mental health professionals. All in all, the main recommendation I will be giving today is for you to prioritize your mental health. It is your personal responsibility to prioritize your mental health. And once you do that, you'll be able to navigate and cope through life in Lagos.
All right, then. Thank you so much. And this is something I will add. Once in a while, take a break away from Lagos. Like, I think the last call, I've forgotten his name, I think Thomas. Take a break from Lagos. And then when you see the way you're acting in other cities, you will see that what I think is normal is not exactly normal. And that will tell you what to adjust. Just take a break from Lagos. Take a breather, even if it's just 2 days, 3 days, as much as your work affords you, so that you'll understand that life in Lagos is not what it is outside there. And you're not making everybody to conform to that standard that you're set for yourself. So thank you so much, Folajaiye. How can people reach you across all social media platforms?
Oh, sure. Please feel free to reach out to me at Folajaiye. It spells with a 4 on Twitter, Folajaiye. Or you can type Abuja Psychologist, you'll find me. And then if you Google Elite Life Management Consulting, you would find me. And then you can reach me also at Folajaiye Kareem on Instagram. And immediately you reach out, definitely we'll get in touch with you.
All right, then. Thank you so much. I look forward to another conversation with you, and hopefully we'll be able to take more people who are pouring out what they feel, and then we reason on the solutions together, because like it or not, those problems are there and we need to fix it. We cannot just wait for the government to do everything for us. Again, thank you so much. Now, Lagos and the rest of the world, wherever you're listening to from, join me in the Smooth Explorer segment. I have my guest as Frank Donga. It will be an exciting conversation, and I'm looking forward to it. You can definitely call on the number 014489981, and then your WhatsApp message 0809-444-0981.
Let's cover the support. Stay tuned to
Thank you.
98.1.
All right, then. See you. I will chat with you. My show still continues, so I have to get there. Thanks.
Everyone agrees that 1xBet is the favorite bookie because of the highest odds, fast deposits, ability to sell slips, bet insurance, and
all right,
more.
thank you to
What's
everybody on YouTube.
1xBet is that you can make money from things like virtual games, basketball, horse racing, and more. Log on to 1xBet.ng to register, and don't forget to use the promo code RadioWin and get 200% bonus on your first deposit. 1xBet. Bet for every taste.